Hello and welcome to the evening news for today, Tuesday, September 9, 2014. I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, historic Umanayana destroyed by fire. APNU tells PBP it has until Monday to call local government elections. Alliance for Change says PBP might be scared of Moses Nagamutu, and Pomeroon miner killed over rum. Now for the news in detail. We begin our news tonight with some tragic developments. The Umanayana, one of Guyana's most historic landmarks, was destroyed by fire this afternoon. Jomo Paul was at the scene and filed this report.
Millions of dollars and decades worth of history went up in flames this afternoon when the Umanayana was gutted with fire. Investigators at the scene said initial signs indicate that the fire was of an electrical origin.
We got here, the entire building was engulfed in flames, the roof. We went into firefighting immediately and we extinguished it.
There were staff members around at the time?
No, there was no one here at the time. We understand that the persons that were around, security drivers at the hospital, probably, I don't know, they were injured or so on. But our officers are there right now to verify what exactly.
They were saying preliminary assessment has shown?
Yes, preliminary investigation, but of course, investigations don't point at one area only, right? And once there's a fire point of electrical origin, we have to get the government inspector, which are the competent authority, to verify whether if it is. But as I said, preliminary investigation.
But what are you seeing that is pointing you in that direction right now? What have you seen?
Based on information, and there's nothing there that can start a fire, right? It's only electrical. The building were powered with electricity. There was no cooking and no other activities going on that can really start a fire. Fire don't happen. It's caused.
Public Service Minister Jennifer Westford, Public Works Minister Robeson Ben, and Culture Minister Frank Anthony rushed to the scene on hearing of the cultural disaster. Anthony offered a comment saying that he was saddened by the tragedy.
It must be a devastating loss.
It is, especially as it happened during Heritage Month. We were told about this about 3:30, and I want to thank the fire service because they have promptly responded. In less than a couple of minutes, they were all here. Unfortunately, the nature of the building itself, because it's a thatch roof building, within a couple of minutes, the whole roof went. We are, however, happy that no one was injured. We have some staff here, but no one was injured. And of course, we will be working along with the fire service to determine the final cause of what is the cause of the fire. I think their preliminary assessment is pointing to something that is electrical. And we will then have to maybe include this for next year's budget because this is important heritage building for us, and we would want to see it erected back as fast as possible.
The Umanayana is a cone-shaped palm-thatched hut erected for a non-aligned Foreign Ministers Conference in 1972. It served as a VIP lounge and recreational center. Reporting for the Evening News, Jomo Paul.
The ruling People's Progressive Party Civic has been given until Monday to call local government elections. Let's find out more in this report.
In a letter addressed to Head of State President Donald Ramotar, leader of the Partnership for National Unity David Granger reminded government of the Local Authorities Election Amendment Bill and its second reading on February 10 earlier this year. According to Granger, it was agreed that elections will be held on or before August 1, 2014. Granger in the letter stated, and I quote, "We remind you also that in accordance with the Constitution of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, local government is a vital aspect of democracy. Local government elections, last held in 1994, are a constitutional obligation and a democratic entitlement of the Guyanese people. It is not an option of the executive branch of government." End of quote. Further, Granger stated that government had promised in the PPPC's manifesto that elections would have been held within 1 year of the 2011 general elections. I quote, "We now call on you to respect the Constitution of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, to respect the decision of the National Assembly with regard to the Local Authorities Election Amendment Bill 2014, and to respect your manifesto, working together for a better tomorrow. The opposition has then given the party on or before Monday, September 15, to announce the date for local government elections to be held countrywide and to issue the commencement order to operationalize the Local Government Commission and to initiate a process by which the local government bill could be returned for an assent by President Ramotar. Failing to make an announcement, Granger said the APNU will be obliged to take any lawful action to mobilize national and international support in defense of local democracy, the Constitution, and the rights of the Guyanese people. Reporting for the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
In the courts, 25-year-old German Gemini of 115 Ogle Street Triumph on the east coast of Demerara was today charged for allegedly having narcotics in his possession. Represented by attorney James Bond, Gemini pleaded not guilty to the charge when he appeared before Chief Magistrate Priya Sinarain Behari. The incident took place on September 6 at Itabali Mazaruni River. The facts presented by the police prosecutor stated that a defendant in the company of others was heading to the interior when they were stopped by the police and a search was conducted. The items were found and weighed and the men were arrested. Bail was refused on the grounds of the nature, gravity and prevalence of the offence. Gemini was refused bail and remanded to prison. The case has been transferred to the Bartica Magistrates Court for September 18. The Alliance for Change AFC says the People's Progressive Party Civic is running scared ahead of the next general and regional elections. The statement comes one day after the PPPC's General Secretary Clement Rohi said that he will expose the skeletons in Moses Nagamotu's closet.
The Alliance for Change's General Secretary David Patterson has dismissed criticisms made by the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic against Moses Nagamotu. Upon hearing that Nagamotu will be contending the next general and regional elections as AFC's presidential candidate, PPP General Secretary Clement Rohi said that he will expose the skeletons hidden in Nagamotu's closet. But Patterson today said that Nagamotu may have no less than 4 skeletons than Rohi. According to him, Rohi's remark is nothing more than a knee-jerk reaction. Meanwhile, AFC's Member of Parliament Trevor Williams said that the PPPC may still be scared of Nagamotu. He opined that Nagamotu rivals the best politicians that the PPP has to offer, positing that the party is still feeling the impact of his departure. Williams said too that Nagamotu had managed to hurt the PPPC in the past, and the possibility exists that he may hurt them even more at the next elections. For the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
Meanwhile, despite open endorsement from the incumbent leader of the Alliance for Change, Cameron Ramjatan, for the party's vice chairman, Moses Nagamotu, becoming the next presidential candidate, the post is still open for other party members. More in this report.
AFC's General Secretary David Patterson says move by Cameron Ramjatan to endorse Moses Nagamotu should not be seen as the undermining of internal party democracy, but an expression of a personal opinion. Patterson said he is yet to receive nominations for the various posts within the party. The AFC's biannual Congress is set for October 25 and will see all of the offices within the party being made available. Patterson explained that the National Executive Committee is set for a meeting on October 4. Subsequently, he will be officially announcing the nominees for the posts within the party. He noted too that party members are free to endorse whomever they want since there are no stipulations. Sidi Ramnath for the Evening News.
More news ahead. Stay tuned. This is the Evening News. Welcome back. The Private Sector Commission has pledged its continuous support for the enhancement of human capital in Guyana, even as it signaled its intention to establish greater collaboration with the government of the day. Alexis Rodney reports.
The Housing and Water Ministry on Monday carried out a tour of the Eccles Housing Schemes East Bank, Demerara, where a number of homes have been constructed for Guyanese, especially young professionals. It was while there that both the chairman and vice chairman of the PSC, Ramesh Prasad, and Eddie Boyer, taken aback by the development in the area, made the public commitment.
I think we are all very, very impressed at what we saw here this afternoon. We started at 4 and we're still here, and it's 6:10, and we still have a lot more to see. I just want to say that the Private Sector Commission is going to be bringing back a technical team with more persons to look at this thing on a more wider scale as to how our participation with the business community and more or less the organizations to look and see how we can structure with the government, the Ministry of Housing to be part of this great development.
That was PSC's Vice Chairman Eddie Boyer responding to an invitation by Minister Irfaan Ali to share his thoughts on the project. Boyer, a well-known businessman, said that the Commission, which pays a special interest in the welfare of private businesses in Guyana, will be collaborating with the Housing Ministry to assist in the development process. PSC Chairman Persall, delighted by the site before him, said he was unaware of the level of transformation that has taken place.
This has really highlighted to us the developments that are taking place on a social scale. What is more important, maybe we've only seen a very small part of this development. We're looking forward to bringing a larger team of businesses and business people to understand the opportunities that this can bring for business.
He described the growing community as a massive economic development where a great number of opportunities are available for micro, medium and macro-sized businesses. Minister Ali said due to the high demand, the ministry will be constructing another 200 homes for professionals. The 60 homes Ali reported have a 90% occupancy rate. The houses are also designed in such a way to allow homeowners to make further improvement if they so desire. The project was convened in 2012. However, actual construction began in February of 2013. Over 60 homes have been constructed. The bungalow-like houses sport 3 bedrooms, 2 baths and a kitchen and cost some $13.2 million. Allottees are required to pay an advance of $1.3 million at a rate of 9%. This move of the government and the banks has increased the bank's portfolio to close to $500 million and has seen over 300 skilled and unskilled persons being employed. Reporting for the Evening News, I am Alexis Rodney.
The Dans family of Anna Regina, Lower Pomeroon River, is mourning the death of their 21-year-old son who was murdered on Monday at Mariboro, Lower Pomeroon. Dad is Raphael Dans, who was stabbed to his left side chest. Police said in a statement that the crime occurred at about 22 hours at Grand Marlboro, Lower Pomeroon River. Investigations so far have revealed that Dans and another man were imbibing, during which an argument ensued. He was allegedly stabbed to the chest and was pronounced dead on arrival at a charity hospital. The suspect has not yet been arrested. Meanwhile, the Evening News was told that 4 persons are presently in custody, assisting with investigations. The People's Progressive Party Civic says it remains committed to the establishment of a governance model that is reflective of Guyana's ethnic and political diversity. Svetlana Marshall reports.
As it continues to push for the establishment of a broad national front, the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC said it is open to new ideas which could evolve into a government of national unity. But the PPPC General Secretary Clement Roy on Monday said any model or formula must not depart from the principles of democracy. Additionally, he warned against dishonesty.
It is a considered opinion of the party, however, that for such a model to become a reality, it must be buttressed by mutual trust and respect, and a willingness to put the interests of Guyana and our citizens ahead of partisan interests.
Though the Partnership for National Unity, led by David Granger, has been promoting the concept of a government of national unity, Roy opined that the party's actions tell a different story. The General Secretary said too that the opposition parties should be reminded that it was the PPP that first initiated the notion of national unity through the establishment of a broad national front.
History will record that it was the PPP that always took the lead in the quest for a government of national unity, which dates back to the 1960s, when the PPP offered the PNC to join the cabinet on near parity terms in an attempt to forge a peaceful and cohesive society. That proposal advanced by the party was rejected by the PNC, which eventually teamed up with the right-wing United Force in elections of 1964 to remove the PPP from government.
Of recent, the ruling party has had several discussions with stakeholders and interest groups on the country's political climate. Those present were assured that Guyanese will benefit significantly from higher levels of transparency and accountability through shared governance.
The Bartica business community has demonstrated its continuous support and commitment towards boosting security when it presented a $1.2 million vessel to the Bartica police station. According to the business community, the boat with a V6 Yamaha 200 horsepower outboard engine will be used to boost security operations and enhance the police's maritime duties around the mining community. Officer in charge of the station, Superintendent Banwari, expressed his appreciation of the gesture, noting that it came in a timely manner. With millions of dollars owed by some graduates of the University of Guyana, Chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Ramesh Prasad, says the student loan agency should be managed by the private sector.
The University of Guyana's student loan program assists thousands of Guyanese annually seeking a tertiary level education and is managed by government through the Finance Ministry. In an exclusive interview with the Evening News, Prasad said that the student loan agency shall be managed by the local commercial banks. According to him, much of the current problems will be addressed. Prasad said recent revelations have proven that the current system is inadequate. Based on information emanating from the Finance Ministry, he said a high percentage of the graduates who have benefited from loans have breached their contracts. It was further explained that they are yet to repay the government. Just recently, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh told the Evening News that government was giving former students some more time to make their repayments before strict measures are taken. For the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
Meanwhile, after weeks of anxiety and uncertainty, the final results for students at the University of Guyana's law faculty began trickling in on Monday afternoon. More in this report.
Examination results for final year students of the University of Guyana Law Department have started to trickle in from Barbados. In May, the examination papers were sent to Barbados, where they are usually second marked by the University of West Indies officials. The results were issued on Monday, one day before the commencement of registration for UWoden Law School in Trinidad and Tobago. The news of the results were confirmed by Acting President of the University of Guyana Students Association, Joshua Griffith. He said UGSS was worried that the delay in results would have hindered those eligible from gaining access to UWoden Law School in Trinidad and Tobago. But although UWI had not returned the results, UG has moved to issue pre-confirmation letters to the top 25 law students to attend the Trinidadian Law School. Sidi Ramnath for the Evening News.
If you have a news tip or news story you'd like our news team to follow, message or WhatsApp us on telephone numbers 680-9630, 600-3117 or 617-2867. You can also call the office on telephone numbers 231-0382, 226-2102, 223-7230 or 223-7231. More news ahead. Stay tuned. This is the Evening News. This is the Evening News. Welcome back. A 25-year-old man of West Coast Demerara was today remanded to prison after he was charged with unlawful possession of firearm. Ricky Singh appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Courts before Chief Magistrate Priya Sinarayan Bihari. His allegation read that on September 7 at Avenue of the Republic in Georgetown, he had in his possession one 9mm pistol without being a licensed firearm holder. The unrepresented defendant pleaded not guilty to the charge. According to the police prosecutor, Inspector Michael Grant, there are no prior antecedents for him. However, he objected to bail on the grounds of the offence's nature, prevalence, and seriousness. Based on the objection grounds, bail was refused and he was remanded to prison until September 22. Miss Earth 2014, who is slated to represent Guyana in the International Miss Earth pageant in the Philippines, has relaunched her cleanup campaign in the city. Let's find out more from Svetlana Marshall.
Miss Earth Ghana 2014 Stacey Ramcharan, along with 15 supporters, cleaned up sections of Main and Camp Streets on Sunday last. The exercise was executed under the theme, Be an Angel, Be an Earth Angel.
This is actually the second cleanup campaign. The first one was on the seawall. That was about a month ago. So every week we're going to try and change the location. and try to get as much people as you can to come out and, participate.
So how was the first month with regards to support versus this month?
Compared from last month to this month, we had a much better turnout this time.
Okay. And so you're here on Camp Street and you're moving down?
We're going to Main Street afterwards.
So you'll be cleaning Camp, the pathway along Camp
and Main Street. Pathway, yeah.
In addition to the cleanup campaign, Miss Earth Guyana collaborated with Bravo Arts to host a Get Creative workshop for children. During the workshop, participants were involved in the recycling of materials, among other activities. Ahead of her mangrove project in October, Ram Charan has already participated in a tree planting exercise, which concluded approximately 2 weeks ago. In addition, the Guyanese beauty is currently undergoing rigorous training as she prepares to depart Guyana for the Miss Earth International pageant in the Philippines on November 29.
Your regional, international and bridge reports are after the break. Stay tuned. This is the evening news. Welcome back. In the region, Montserrat will be holding its general election on Thursday, which will be hotly contested by 31 candidates. The two main parties contesting the election include a newly formed People's Democratic Movement, led by Leader of the Opposition Don Romeo, and incumbent Movement for Change and Prosperity, led by Premier Ruben Maid. Each party has 9 candidates, and there are also 13 independent candidates running, making a total of 31. 3 independent candidates have also formed an alliance, led by the former Chief Minister Dr. Lowell Lewis. There is just one constituency, and each voter has 9 votes to fill the 9 elected seats in the Legislative Assembly. This was introduced several years ago to take into account the reduced population and the reduced size of the habitable area of the island due to the volcano in the south of the island. Internationally, President Barack Obama is meeting congressional leaders to outline and press his case for an expanded military campaign against Islamic State militants in Iraq and Syria. He is discussing his strategy with leaders from both parties at the White House. The talks come ahead of his speech to the nation on Wednesday night. It is not clear whether the president will seek congressional authorization for an increased military role. Tuesday's meeting with congressional leaders comes a year after lawmakers blocked Obama's previous plans for missile strikes. In case of just joined us, you're watching the evening news. We now take a look at your bridge reports. The Demerara Harbour Bridge is expected to be closed from 5 hours on Wednesday, September 10 for a period of 1.5 hours, and the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed from 6 hours 25 on Wednesday, September 10 for a period of 1.5 hours. Join us after break for sports, sponsored by MacCorp. This is the evening news. Welcome back now for a look at sport, but first the headlines. West Indies thump Bangladesh by 10 wickets to take series lead. Pakistan spinner Saeed Ajmal banned by the ICC, and Kaichur Thunders win Cricket for Unity match. Of course, this podcast comes to the kind compliments of MacCorp.
We believe that everything worth building should be built just once. That is why we build on culture, on trust, on integrity. We exist to do more, better, faster, safer. Your success depends on the foundation it's built on. Everything we do is meant to move you forward. MacCorp, let's build Guyana together.
Welcome back now for the details. We start off with some cricket news. West Indies took less than 2 hours to end Bangladesh's promise of a prolonged 50 by bowling them out for 314 before their openers knocked off the required 13 runs in 2.4 overs. There was enough time, though, for Mushfiqur Rahim to reach his 3rd Test century, but support was non-existent to the other end as Bangladesh lost 5 wickets for the addition of 58 runs. Kimar Roach was the morning's most effective bowler, picking up 2 wickets to finish with a 4-wicket haul. Shannon Gabriel was rewarded for his strong work on the 4th day with 2 cheap wickets, while Suleiman Ben, who didn't have to bowl an over on the 5th morning, finished the match on 7 wickets. The second and final test starts on September 13 in St. Lucia. Pakistan's Saeed Ajmal has been suspended by the International Cricket Council, the ICC, for an illegal bowling action. The 36-year-old off-spinner, who was reported last month after match officials raised concerns during the first test against Sri Lanka in Galle. More in this report. Analysis of Ajmal's action revealed that all his deliveries exceeded the 15 degrees by which the arm is allowed to bend, the ICC said. Ajmal said he was disappointed, but added, quote, "I know I can correct it," end quote. He's currently the world's top-ranked one-day international bowler. He has also taken 178 test wickets at an average of 28.10 and is still the leading wicket-taker in the county championship this season, with 63 wickets in 9 matches for Worcestershire, despite not having played for them in almost 2 months. The ICC in a statement said, and I quote, "An independent analysis has found the bowling action of Pakistan's off-spinner Saeed Ajmal to be illegal, and as such, the player has been suspended from bowling in international cricket with immediate effect," end quote. Ajmal's action was analysed by an ICC-accredited team of human movement specialists using the National Cricket Centre in Brisbane, Australia on August 25. The Pakistan Cricket Board, PCB, confirmed it was considering an appeal but was more circumspect on Ajmal's chances of returning to the international arena. The PCB spokesman Aga Akbar told BBC Radio 5 Live that Ajmal's chances of playing in the World Cup early next year are bleak. The ECB told BBC Sport that the ban would extend to domestic competitions, preventing Ajmal from returning to county cricket. Ajmal, who made his international debut in July 2008, can apply for a reassessment after he modifies his bowling action. And finally, spectators filled the Demerara Cricket Club pavilion while others lined the outer parameters of the ground to witness the Kaieteur Thunders edge the Roraima Strikers by 4 runs in the inaugural Cricket for Unity 2020 match, which turned out to be a resounding success both from an organising standpoint and by the quality of the on-field action. Here are details. Batting first, Kaieteur Thunders, who seemed destined for a 200-plus total, posted 178 for 5, a score that proved just enough as Roraima Strikers responded with 174 for 9 at the end of 20 overs. The Thunders were indebted to 44 from skipper Oren Ford, 25 from opener Sheikh Mohammed, 31 from Alfred Mentor, and a quick-fire 17 from 5 balls from Lennox Cush. Bowling for Roraima Strikers, Clyde Butts picked up 2 for 4 from 2 overs, while there was 1 apiece for Charles Ramson Jr., James Bond, and Isan Crandon. Despite a fine knock of 57 from 29 balls from Ryan Griffith, the Roraima Strikers fell short of the target by 4 runs. Andre Percival made 24, while Crandon scored 23. Crush proved his versatility with the ball, claiming 4 for 8. After the game, a member of the organising team, UC Israel, said the event was a success.
Wonderful. It has been what we would have expected, and we want to say to the general public, those who were here and those who were our well-wishers all the time, a very hearty thank you from the organisers of this cricket event.
Tell me a bit about the magnitude of work that you have put in to have this successful night.
Well, it was a team effort, and it's a work in progress, and we are very grateful for all those who would have supported and helped in this capacity. It was tremendous work, but because of the results, we are pleased with what we would have done.
The game was organised by Dexter Garnett to foster unity in the nation through the game of cricket. It is expected to be an annual event. And with that, we have come to the end of sport, which was sponsored by MarCorp. And that's a wrap as well on the evening news for today, Tuesday, September 9, 2014. Of course, you can find these and many more stories in tomorrow's edition of the Guyana Times. And here's an invitation to join us in TVG Channel 28 and on Radio Guyana Inc. 89.3 in Essequibo, 89.5 in Georgetown Environs, and 89.7 in Berbice and Unicary, Suriname. On behalf of all of us here, I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for watching.